So maybe
is going.
Hello and welcome to Inside Jacksonville, a production of the University of North Florida School of Communication and the CW17. I'm Bruce Hope.
And I'm Gabby Parzygnat. We're here each month for stories about life on our favorite coast, the First Coast.
A little boy's rare chromosome disorder is behind the inspiration of a local playground that will bring kids in our community closer together. Inside Jacksonville's Victoria Reed explains how this park is helping eliminate barriers for kids with special abilities.
Henry Kruck is the inspiration for Henry's Heroes, a nonprofit that is working to build an exclusive playground here in Jacksonville that eliminates barriers for kids with special abilities.
During his life, we had certainly struggled with trying to find a playground. There was really no playgrounds around here that were fully inclusive.
Henry was born with a rare chromosome disorder, which caused him to have several congenital defects as well as cognitive and developmental delays.
He just one of those kids that just made you smile. He was just a good kid, just really, really easy. Just loved music, loved to play, loved cuddles, best cuddler ever.
Henry passed away in 2017, but he left behind gifts of love and compassion that inspired his mother to create a playground for all children. Parents like Jamie Donohue is looking forward to the new inclusive park for her son, Timothy.
The park is important because Timothy likes to be able to play with his brothers and do all the things that they do, and currently there's not a park where I can take him that he can maneuver with his wheelchair through the park and be able to get on the structures.
The lack of accessibility of a playground is something that most people don't consider. Some Jacksonville parks have accessible swings, but the ground is covered with mulch, which makes it difficult to get to the equipment.
If he wants to slide, then I have to pick him up and physically carry him up and slide down with him.
The inclusive playground will combine both traditional and sensory equipment and will also feature musical instruments for all children to enjoy together.
It's not just about accessibility, it's about getting kids to play together. That's really what playgrounds are all about, right?
Victoria Reed, Inside Jacksonville.
The inclusive playground is expected to be completed by spring. If you would like to donate to Henry's Heroes Jacks, go to unftv.com.
The Special Olympics is coming to Jacksonville, but not in the way you might think. One family is transforming their farm into a fall-friendly festival that's welcome to all members of the community. Inside Jacksonville's Crystal Harrison tells us more about the farm and how it is creating big opportunities for people in our community.
The Amazing Grace Family Farm provides a fun, welcoming environment for all members of the community. Owned by Justin and Kelly Mosley, the farm serves to be a place for all members of the community to enjoy.
We really felt like that God was leading us in the direction to find a place to farm and be able to do an agritourism operation like this. So we spent the whole fall season in 2012 going to different farms and doing research, and then in 2013 was our first season whenever we opened, and we have expanded every year since. We try to add new attractions and amenities for our guests every year.
The farm features attractions run by teens and members of the local community. These include various food stands, games for everyone to enjoy, including farm-friendly tug-of-war, farm animals, sensory tables, and a large crop maze. With the crop maze being the main attraction, in the spring it's transformed into a large sunflower field.
Welcome to the maze!
With the theme of the 2019 maze being Special Olympics, it's inspired by many of the team members who were a part of the organization. This helps provide a warm and friendly work environment to help bring this community closer together. Special Olympics provides opportunities for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. They're encouraging teamwork and inclusion. All the activities at the farm are designed to be fully inclusive, like the jump pads separated by age and level, and a wheelchair-accessible park swing. Throughout the farm, all the scarecrows were designed by different groups of Special Olympic athletes from area schools. And many of the farm workers are Special Olympics athletes, and the farm provides them with valuable work experience that they might not be able to get anywhere else.
And so it really goes back to those three really special team members that we have here that work with us that inspired our 2019 maze design.
Crystal Harrison, Inside Jacksonville.
Want to know what other family-friendly activities the farm has to offer? You can find out by going to unftv.com.
Coming up, we're taking a closer look at the current effect flooding is having on businesses in the Jacksonville Beach community.
Break, we'll take a look into how cat yoga.
Did you say cat yoga?
I did, Bruce. That's right. Cat yoga can help reduce your stress. Welcome back to Inside Jacksonville.
Coming up, we'll take a deeper look into the everyday effects flooding is having on our beach community.
But first, we all know stress takes a heavy toll on both physical and mental health. And now, the Jacksonville Humane Society is creating a new exercise that can help reduce stress, while also helping kittens find their forever home. Inside Jacksonville's Valeria Rodriguez has more on this unique combination.
Life is stressful. Whether we realize it or not, it is an issue that the majority of the population struggles with.
Some stress is good, but sometimes we become so overwhelmed that we basically freeze.
Many people try to ignore the cause of stress, and this can be really harmful for both physical and mental health. The best way to avoid stress is with self-care.
The best thing we can do is to recharge ourselves, and we do it through self-care.
Self-care can come in many shapes and forms. At the Humane Society in Jacksonville, self-care comes in the shape of Miyamaste.
Miyamaste is cat yoga that we do here at the Jacksonville Humane Society. Yoga is stress relief because you're using breath work to bring your parasympathetic nervous system down. You're being mindful, you're stretching your body, warming up your muscles. Adding the cats to it is an extra bonus because there's science behind petting furry animals will also bring your parasympathetic nervous system down, meaning that it calms your body down.
There is a lot of research that indicates that having animals is beneficial in many ways, and the combination of animal interactions and exercise is a great way to mix two of the most common stress relievers.
When it comes to animals, I mean, it's great to be in their presence because they really calm us down. Whenever we pet them, whenever we play with them, for one, it can be a meditative experience.
Miyamaste is also a great way to get in contact with the kittens that are up for adoption at the Humane Society.
All the cats that are here, you'll see them running around, they're all for adoption.
Whether you do yoga with cats or not, don't ignore your stress and make sure you find time for self-care. Valeria Rodriguez, Inside Jacksonville.
To find out about more events coming to the Humane Society that will help reduce your stress, head over to unftv.com.
October is LGBT History Month. It's a time to celebrate the impact the LGBT community has had around the world and in Jacksonville. Inside Jacksonville's Taylor Smiley shows us how some Jacksonville businesses are developing their support to our local LGBT community.
There are a few places in town that are safe spaces for the LGBT community to go to. I took a deeper look into what these places are and how much of an impact they are to the LGBT community. Taryn Rains is the founder of the Closet Jack SpeakEasy, which is a nonprofit organization here in Jacksonville that is designated as a safe space to enjoy and create live entertainment.
I have a trans band, and one of the performers, one of the artists in the trans band came up to me and she said, you know, nobody's gonna book me. Nobody's gonna book me to sing a song, to sing with a band, outside of my church and outside of the club where they're throwing dollars at me. Who's gonna book a trans band? Nobody. So, you know, we are. That's what, the answer is the closet.
The Closet Jacks continues to host fundraisers and events for the community, as well as expanding their relationships with other safe spaces here in Jacksonville. The Closet Jacks hopes to connect with Jasmyn, another local nonprofit, for events in the future. Jasmyn has served and supported the LGBTQ community for 25 years. In the early 90s, Ernie Solorio Jr. began Jasmyn at the age of 19. Jasmyn stands for Jacksonville Area Sexual Minority Youth Network. Cindy Watson is the CEO of Jasmyn, and she helps create a better world for their youth.
Youth center first and foremost for LGBTQ young people. And then we're also a service center. We're a place where young people who are troubled, who are harassed, or who have different kinds of unique needs can come and get support and get a sense of belonging and get some real access to resources. For example, we help young people with HIV who are HIV positive linked to medical care, and we help young people who are experiencing homelessness linked to shelter and other supportive housing services.
Jasmyn helps their young people by creating a safe space for healthy and wholeness programs and providing opportunities for youth development.
I have been with the Jasmyns for 10 years consecutively. Jasmyn's has helped me a lot with housing. Jasmyn's is the first place that I encountered other people walking the same lifestyle as myself and was comfortable to know that I was okay to be who I wanted to be. Actually, thank Jasmyn's for having the platform that I have thus far in life.
Jasmyn has positively impacted many people, especially young adults and teens. It also helps bring together local businesses and individuals to support equality and human rights.
Taylor Smiley, Inside Jacksonville.
If you're looking for more information on safe spaces and what events are going on in Jacksonville, go to unftv.com.
Hurricanes and severe storms can hurt homes and businesses around Jacksonville. Jacksonville Beach is especially sensitive to flooding. I took a trip to the beach to find out what's being done to protect residents and their properties from future storms. Hurricane weather can bring heavy rains and flooding, especially to cities like Jacksonville that are so close to the beach. Flooding can affect restaurants, businesses, and even residential homes along Jack's Beach. Flooding can happen from sea level rise due to heavy rains and hurricane weather. Residents that live along Jacksonville Beach need to have the knowledge of what to do if weather like this occurs.
When the one that was the last one, Dorian, when that one was coming, we actually have a downstairs area that's the entrance to a second floor apartment. And so there's a storage area there, and instead of leaving everything on the ground so that it could get wet if there was flooding that came into that area, we actually elevated it using crates, like plastic crates, and lifted everything up at least 12, 14 inches so that if there was something that was happening, we would have some protection.
These residents are not alone, as Jacksonville Beach has Red Cross and Rescue to help in case of an emergency. Government organizations, such as the Solid Waste Division, help hands-on with flooding and reducing the waste that comes from it through Jacksonville. Lieutenant Maxwell Ervaniah, who has been with the Ocean Rescue for 9 years, has dealt with situations like these before.
We are in constant communication with the National Weather Service, the City Emergency Management, as well as the County Emergency Management. So we kind of follow the recommendations of our local city government and kind of mirror the operations that we would do for the rest of our City of Jacksonville Beach buildings. In the event that we do have a hurricane coming close to our area, such as recently Hurricane Dorian, or a couple years ago Hurricane Irma, and then before that Hurricane Matthew, our first preparational activities would be to shutter up the lifeguard station, as well as we're going to evacuate any life safety rescue equipment to stage at another location. So in the event that we do need it, once that the flooding or the threat subdues, we're able to have easy access to it. And then really we'll be maintaining this lifeguard station up until the very last minute, to where then we would fall back to our staging area and to wait out the storm.
Flooding occurs in Jacksonville Beach due to sea level rising or heavy rainfall. Recently, a News for Jacksonville article came out saying that Jacksonville Beach residents face 5 inches of flooding due to heavy rainfall. Different local shops, hotspots, and restaurants have their own ways of preparing if hurricane and flooding does come.
Hurricane Matthew a few years back, we got a pretty bad storm surge for it, and it flooded in pretty good through 1st Street and 2nd Street up there, but storm surge had come over the dunes, and that was what the streets flooded. It was from the storm surge. We really just sandbag up the doors in case of flooding or anything, keep water from coming in the building. Though all the windows on the front side of the restaurant are hurricane-proof glass, so it's pretty much unbreakable glass, basically. Yeah.
Hurricane and weather preparation is important and is not something Jacksonville Beach locals take lightly. To learn more about evacuation zones and other ways you can stay safe when your streets start to flood, head over to unftv.com.
Coming up, I'll introduce you to the all-star athlete that's turning heads on the hardwood.
Also, after the break, we'll hear about a sweet remedy made for those of you who suffer from annoying allergies. It's all the buzz. Welcome back to Inside Jacksonville.
Coming up, we'll see how one young athlete is making a layup in his community.
Allergies come and go every year, but one method is helping people reduce their sneezing with a more natural remedy. Inside Jacksonville's Jessica Volz shows us what exactly goes on in the hive when it comes to local honey.
What's all the buzz about local honey? People are looking to local honey for more than just allergy relief, but why? A beekeeper from the local Jacksonville area takes us into her private hive for a closer look.
I'm the one that when they start being stupid and they start killing my bees, I get real upset about it.
She is very passionate about the bees and the role that they play in our everyday lives. She teaches us the importance of the honey and the bees. We learn that the pesticides should not be sprayed anywhere close to the pollinators. The bees collect nectar and pollen, even sap, within a 5-mile radius. As the bees continue to flutter their wings, the nectar will solidify, resulting in honey. The bees continue this process in preparation for the cold months in order to survive.
Now we know how the honey is made, but the real question still stands. Does honey actually make a difference when it comes to your health? Well, who better than to ask the professionals?
We learned that the local raw honey has been used for over 5,000 years. It's packed with antimicrobials and anti-inflammatory properties. Not only does it harmonize the liver, but the honey's moisture helps with a dry cough and constipation. It also calms the nervous system and promotes a deep sleep.
Colony collapse disorder. This disorder has devastated the bee population. And so if we want to ensure honey for our future, it is crucial that we eliminate pesticide use from our home. And when we go to the grocery store, we shop organically and we no longer buy conventional produce that's hurting our bees.
To reap the benefits that honey offers, we must buy raw local honey because it isn't heated over 150 degrees, which allows it to carry the healing properties to promote overall well-being. Jessica Volz, Inside Jacksonville.
For a deeper look into what the everyday life of a beekeeper has to offer, go to unftv.com.
It seems like these days, colleges are recruiting athletes even younger than ever before. One 8th grader is using this to his advantage. I met with him to see just how he's working towards a slam dunk for his future.
14-year-old Kent Jackson of St. Paul's Catholic School is a special basketball player.
Well, I was about 3, and whenever I started playing organized basketball, probably about 5 or 6, 1st or 2nd grade.
Like most young players, Kent had to find an NBA star to model his game after. Hint, it isn't who you might think.
My favorite NBA player is Trae Young, and I like to compare my game to him. And because he's not very tall, I'm obviously not going to be very tall whenever I get older. And his game is a lot like mine. He likes to shoot.
Coach Tommy Hulihan has been at St. Paul's for 24 years, and he's seen a lot of talented players come and go. According to him, Kent may just be the next in line.
I realized Kent was a really, really special player, probably in 5th grade. We had a couple really big games, and he came in off the bench, and he came in firing.
After watching Kent for a while at St. Paul's practice, he invited us over to his home to show us where it all started and where he gets his extra work in. He doesn't only work on shooting, He's refining his complete game, practicing passing as well as ball handling.
In the current era of collegiate athletics being big business, excellent basketball players are being recruited at younger and younger ages. In front of us is the type of player who's beginning to receive attention that will only grow along with him and his game.
The recruiting process is starting a lot earlier nowadays with the college coaches. There's many ninth graders now getting coaches saying they want them and all that. And I think it's good. It's I don't know how binding it is legally, but I think it's good. It's motivating for the players.
Even though recruiters and subsequent scholarship offers can come earlier than ever, players need to keep working and keep focused.
And so these guys that get these offers early on, it's flattering to them, and that's good. It's a good thing. I don't think it's a bad thing. And it lets them know they've got to keep working. Some kids will work harder. Some kids, feel like they've made it and they might level off. So it can be good and bad, I guess.
Kent has big dreams of playing Division I college basketball.
My dream school would probably be going to play at Duke. Obviously, play with the Coach K. Just the school in general is very tough, and then the basketball program is great.
Bruce Hope, Inside Jacksonville.
To learn more about Kent Jackson's experience, go to unftv.com. I'll tell you what, Gabby, it was a real pleasure getting to sit with that young man. He's hardworking and he's humble.
Well, good luck to Ken. I really hope he goes far with his basketball career.
Yeah.
Well, that's a wrap on this edition of Inside Jacksonville.
If you missed anything from today's program, just visit our website, unftv.com, and look under the Digital Journalism tab, where you'll find expanded versions of our stories, photos, interviews, and other extras. Again, that's unftv.com.
You can also find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at InsideJacksUNF. Thank you for joining us. I know Bruce and I had a lot of fun.
Absolutely, Gabby. And thank you for watching from all of us here on Inside Jacksonville.